For over 12 years, Maria had worked quietly in the shadows of the Alton estate. It was a sprawling mansion with more than 50 rooms. The place had been owned by the same family for over 100 years, but nobody really knew much about them, especially the current owner, Charles Alton. No one ever saw him smile, let alone speak. There were rumors that he was a cold, distant man. Some even called him a monster. But everyone agreed on one thing: he was a billionaire. So the Altons kept to themselves, which was fine by the townspeople. They didn't want any part of those rich weirdos anyway. He rarely left the house, and no one ever got an audience with him, unless they were important business associates, or of course, Maria. She was the only servant he trusted enough to handle his food. He ate alone in his massive kitchen. That's where she would serve him dinner every night. At first, she hated the job. She hated the isolation. She hated the heavy silence. But eventually she grew accustomed to it. She grew comfortable in the big, empty house. She liked her job, paid well, and it was easy. Then one day everything changed. Maria was scrubbing the floor in the entrance hall when she heard sirens. Moments later, a doctor came rushing out, his face grim. Then an army of lawyers showed up. Soon after, the whole family arrived, all smiles and hugs. Clearly they hadn't been invited. They were only there because Charles had fallen gravely ill. The doctor said he had terminal cancer. He only had weeks to live. So now the family was gathering like vultures, waiting for their time to strike. While everyone else was whispering in the hallways, Maria was called into Charles's office. The doctor handed her a sedative and a glass of water. "You must calm him down," he said. "He won't stop trembling." So Maria did as she was told. She gave the old man the medicine and sat by his bed until he fell asleep. The next morning, she was summoned to his bedside again. This time, he was awake. "Bring Maria to me," he had said to the doctor. Tell no one I'm awake." The doctor looked at Maria and nodded. "Stay with me," Charles rasped. Everyone was shocked. Why did he want the maid by his side? Sure, she was the nicest of all the servants, but still, she was just a maid. As the evening wore on, Maria noticed that Charles was getting worse. His breathing was shallow, his skin was clammy. Still, he insisted that no one leave his side. He needed someone to talk to, someone to listen. Suddenly he asked, "Have you ever wondered why I hired you?" Maria paused, stirring his soup. "No, sir." "Why did I hire you?" he repeated, ignoring her answer. "It doesn't matter now, but I'll tell you anyway. I saw your eyes the first day you walked in. I knew you were special. You reminded me of someone very dear to me. And then I started noticing things, little things. How you always brought extra food to the stray cats. How you donated the tips you got from the gardener to that charity, the one my daughter used to volunteer at. How you visit your mother every week, even though she doesn't have much time left. You're a good person, Maria, a very good person. That's why I wanted you here." Maria felt tears pricking her eyes, but she blinked them away. She didn't want to upset the old man. She didn't know what he was planning, but she had a feeling that this conversation was far from over. "I'm sorry," he rasped, reaching for her hand. "I don't have much time. I want to make things right. Before I go, I need to tell you something very important. Do you know who your mother is?" Maria shook her head, confused. Charles closed his eyes, his grip on her hand tightening. "Do you know who Isabel Rivera is?" he whispered. A photo suddenly flashed across Maria's mind, a memory from her childhood. She remembered the day clearly. Her mom had been crying, holding a picture of a handsome man and a beautiful young woman. "Who's that, Mom?" she had asked. "That," her mother had whispered, tears streaming down her face, "was your father and I, then everything went black?" She had no memories of the man. She never knew who he was. But looking back at Charles's pleading eyes, she suddenly knew. "You're not my father," she whispered. "You're the man in the picture. You're the one who abandoned my mom." He winced. "Yes," he rasped. "I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never meant for things to turn out like that. I was young and ambitious. I chose the wrong path. I chose money, power, prestige. I chose ambition over Isabel. I chose everything except love. I know that now. I know that all I ever wanted was to be with her. All I ever craved was her smile. I should have fought for us. Instead, I let my family win. I let them convince me that she wasn't good enough. She was poor, I was told. I was born into privilege. She wasn't my match, so I let her go. I let my only chance at happiness slip through my fingers. I let my pride take over. I lived in regret for decades. I searched for her everywhere, but it was too late. I found her grave, but I never found her. And then I found you, Maria. You remind me so much of her. And maybe that's why I never let go. Maybe I was hoping she'd somehow come back to me. I know that's selfish. I know I don't deserve either of you. But please forgive me, Maria. Please forgive your father. I clutched her hand tighter. I didn't have the courage to tell you before. I was afraid of what you might feel, what you might do. But I can't wait anymore. I want you to know the truth. I want you to know who you are. Then he took a deep breath. I'm sorry, Maria. I'm sorry for not being a father to you. I'm sorry for making you grow up without a father. I'm sorry for everything. With that, Charles Alton, the cold, distant billionaire, broke down and cried.